ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Mahopanisad, chapter 5, read 125.
अहंकारो विनिर्णेता कलंकी बुद्धिरुच्यते बुद्धि संकल्पिताकारा प्रयाति मननास्पदम्।
How this jiva comes into appearance is being now told. And first, as a kshetrajna, then comes the role of ahankara. Ahankara in a determining function, in the decisiveness function, becomes the buddhi. Buddhi, when taken to consideration, becomes the mind. Same mind with its concentration becomes the indriyas. Onward, let us see. Continue.
मनोघन विकल्पं तु गच्छतीन्द्रियतां शनैः पाणिपादमयं देहम् इन्द्रियाणि विदुर्बुधाः।
Ghana vikalpam manaha tu shanaihi indriyatam gacchati buddhaha panipaadamayam deham indriyani iti viduhu. Ghana vikalpam manaha, the mind with intense imagination. What happens to means this is a fact. Shanaihi, gradually, slowly, indriyatam gacchati, gets the status of being indriya. Mind with its intense imagination appears as the indriyas. This is also seen from what the wise people take to. Buddhaha, wise people. Panipaadamayam deham. This body is full of, comprising pani, pada, hands, legs, etc. Indriyani iti viduhu. We consider it to be nothing but senses, sense organs and organs of action. Knowledgeable people consider the entire body to be nothing but a bundle of sense organs and organs of action. You know, sense of touch is all over the body. So that is how. Now here, one thing one may say, just a relevant topic. You might have come across certain criticism by this atheist. They say, these people talk of God, 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 God. God is nothing but imagination of the human mind. It is the man, because of imagination, creates God. Is what they say. And many people take it apologetically. Oh, you should know how to answer these people. You tell them, my dear sir, you are talking very little. Alpameva vadasi bho. Go ahead. Why God? Entire Jagat, including your body, is creation of the mind. There is nothing that is there which is not the projection of the mind. If you take to the mode of drishti srishtivada, drishtihi eva srishtihi, drishti, that antakarana vritti which gives us the specific knowledge or experience, itself is creation. And who created that? You created it. Gurudarnaka speaks of this. How in sleep, Jiva abides in the Hardakasha, withdraws from Indriyas, withdraws from the Nadis, and goes through the Puritat, the covering of the physical heart. It goes to the Ardhakasha, that is the Chidakasha in the space region. When wakes up, the reverse order through this nadis, then up to Indriyas, from Indriyas to the sense object. So when from Indriyas to sense object, you interact with the Vishayas and Drishti, Vishaya Karanta is there, that is there with the Srishti. Who does all this thing? You Jiva. So even Ishvara is what? Among this only. See, whether Jiva or Ishvara is the product of Maya, Maya Shakti. But one thing, the special or the unique feature of Ishvara is, he is a friend, philosopher, guide until you discover your Swarup. You can count upon him as what? Mine. In life, people say he is my person, but at times it may be wrong also. But without fail, who never fails you, is Ishvara. Provided you seek him. If you don't seek him, he is Tatastha. He is not bothered about it. If you seek Ishvara, he will never disappoint you. But you have to deliver yourself in the hands of Ishvara. You can't interfere in between. Once you have set the GPS, follow it. Don't go against its command. Then again, GPS will have to readjust. But the fact is, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara is projection of the human mind. So therefore, if atheist says that Ishvara is a figment of imagination of the mind, my dear sir, it only less you are told. Including your embodiment, everything is what? Imagination of the mind only, projection of the mind only. Should know this. Now from this you can know our entire so-called samsara, so-called jagat, is nothing but projection of the mind. Nothing but projection of the mind. So that is how Buddha Panipaadamayam Deham Indriyani iti Viduhu. Continue.
एवं जीवो हि संकल्पवासनारज्जुवेष्टितः दुःखजालपरीतात्मा क्रमादायाति नीचताम्
Evam hi sankalpavasana rajjuveshtitaha jivaha dukkajala paritatma kramad nichatam ayati. Kramad nichatam ayati. Evam, as described so far, he, well known in the Shastras also, this jiva is sankalpa vasana rajju veshita. Now see, so far what was told was the jiva, including Jagat Ishvara, is a projection of the mind. But on what basis the mind projects? No doubt the mind projects, but there must be a blueprint. What is it? Vasanas. Vasanas. They are nothing but the samskaras of the past. It's a software. So therefore, jiva is what? Sankalpa vasana rajju veshita. Sankalpa is all manovyapara, or specifically desires. So this jiva is veshitaha, tied up, covered by what? Rajju, rope of what? Sankalpa vasana. Desires or all manovyapara, mental functions, being a product of some vasanas. Here, what happened thereby? Dukkha jala paritatma. Being the one endowed by multitudes of suffering. Dukkha jala, network of sorrows. See, we are very complacent. भगवान की कृपा से सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है, सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है. Any guarantee? In life, what happens at what time, from what quarters, no one can predict. If happens, the people get, why it should happen to me, as it were, as if I am an exception. Why should it not happen to you? You are one of the many. So therefore, so we can, there is no guarantee. Not that it will happen, but there is no guarantee. But we are so much accustomed to that we fail to detect that is a problem. I think once I told you this. See, we are aim for seva. Some of students were going in the interior of this Adivasis villages. Once we thought, let us take one social worker they are skilled, experienced in such interacting with the people and finding out their problems, etc. So such one social worker, experienced one, working in a very big organization, reputed organization, was taken. And that lady asked this in Marathi, "What is your problem?" They said, "No, we have no problem." Achha. It was summer, in the month of May end, June. Have you got water? Yes. Where? From that well. They went to the well. You know, in the well, at the bottom, in a pit of about 1.5 feet or 2 feet, with a diameter of another 2 feet, that is what water is. And on the fence of the wall, the ladies and the girls and boys also, boys were less, standing with the tin, not the small tin, it may half a liter or something in there, where string tie that, they throw that in that and take the water and put in a pot. To fill up one pot, at least they have to struggle. Say that the pot about, say, 7-8 liters. They have to spend at least 1 hour. Too much will come in that small, but the same water itself is not there, and so many people are throwing the dabas and they say, "We have water, we have no problem." Now what happens? No problem. Can you imagine? No water, and they say what? And that also well is how much? About 1 kilometer from the village, not just in the amidst the huts. That's our problem. We know not that we have this problem called so-called samsara. We are so much conditioned to get habituated to our circumstances that we take it for granted. Life is so. क्या करने का? इसलिए we have to struggle in life. In that case, one doctor said, why they are not able to know that problem? Because it is because of malnutrition. Because of malnutrition, that brain is not working at all. They know not that they have such a grave problem. Of course, some influence of our Sanatana Dharma culture is also there. Our culture has got that capacity of endurance. About 6-7 months back, I had gone to a place about 5-6 hours drive from Bombay. When returning, we were coming and the road was passing through the villages. I found 2 ladies, quite young that way, maybe 30, 40, in the 30s or 40s, with the pot on the head filled with water. From somewhere they have got the water, they are returning home. And they were both together over there. And they were talking to each other with a full smile on the face. I said to myself, this is Indian culture. I told the one who was driving, see, he said, I also noticed that. Can you imagine? Bringing daily water from a long distance and going, "Ayo," cursing, such a joy, talking this way. So it's also good, but that is not it won't work in the bhava roga. You can't take granted for things as far as our human life is concerned, because if this chance slips off to get freed from this samsara, we know not when the next chance is going to come. From that standpoint, see, this person, Jiva, Sankalpa Vasana Rajju Pariveshda, Dukkha Jala Parita, encircled, encompassed by multitudes of suffering. What happens? Kramad. Kramad means here, in course of time. In course of time, Nichatam Ayati, degrades. He goes down and down the rungs of the ladder of what? Degradation. So that is slowly he will give up even the dharma and become adharmic. Means Nichatam ruins himself. And the plight of the jiva is like this. Continue.
Iti shaktimayam chetaha ghanahankaratam gatam koshakara krimiriva swechaya yati bandhanam.
Iti, in this manner as described. Shaktimayam cheta ghanahankaratam gatam koshakara krimihi iva swechaya bandhanam yati. The plight of jiva. Iti as described so far. This chetaha, chetaha is chit, earlier said chit shakti, first word. The chit chaitanya, and what chaitanya it is? Shaktimayam. Shaktimayam is Shakti Yuktam. Endowed with Shakti. What Shakti? Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti. And Ghanahankaratam Gatam. Gatam Praptam. Which has got now Ghana Ahankarata. Dense Ahankara. Identification of the body. It willingly takes to bonding. Like what? Like a silk was, that is a worm, silken worm. See, it is Koshakara krimihi iva. Krimihi, worm. What? Koshakara. That spins a cocoon round itself. It refers to the silkworm. Silkworm, it weaves from its own saliva trap, something which has got which hardens afterward. It weaves a, what is that? Cocoon of the silken thread round itself for its protection. Actually, it's for this protection. But that itself becomes its death knell. Why? Man catches these worms, puts them in the boiling water, kills them, takes the silken threads. You see, for security it created, and itself as what is ordered the death for itself. It got bound in that. It's because once they're done, it can't come out of that. So that is how Svechaya, by one's own will, Bandhanam yati, gets bound like the silk worm. Further, its plight is being described. The plight of Jiva is being described. Continue.
Swayam kalpita tanmatra jalabhyantaravarti cha param vivashatameti shrunkhala baddha simhavat.
What is the first line? Swayam kalpita tanmatra.
Tanmatra
Swayam
jalabhyantaravarti.
kalpita. Here it is swasankalpita. Meaning is one and the same. Swayam kalpita tanmatra jalabhyantarvarti or swasankalpita tanmatra jalabhyantarvarti. Add there sa chiti, the chiti chaitanya, swayam kalpita, projected by itself, or here swasankalpita, projected by oneself. Tanmatra jalabhyantarvarti. Abhyantaravarti, abiding within, jala, network of a tanmatra. Tanmatra means what? Vasana matra, sankalpa matra. Abhyantaravarti cha, abiding inside. What happened? Shrankhala baddha simhavat, like a lion tied by the chain. Param vivashatameti, becomes totally helpless, becomes dependent and totally helpless. Vivashatameti. Now, see, nobody has done this. It's only because of Maya, Avidya, what you say, sir. It is only appearance. Now, this Jiva is referred to by different words or names at different places. The sample of this is given. Continue.
Kvachin manah kvachit buddhihi kvachit jnanam kvachit kriya kvachidetadahankaraha kvachit chittamiti smrutam.
Add evam vidha chitihi. Evam vidha chiti. This type of chiti, which appears as jiva, is what? Is referred smrutam. You see, smrutam, don't straight away say, remember. It smru also means no. Jnatam is known or is considered. The chiti of this type, which appears now as a jiva, is considered or known at places, pachit, mana. At places, it is referred to as mana. Vachit buddhi. At places, the jiva is referred as what? Buddhi. Vachit jnanam. At places, referred as a jnana. Which jnana? Not atma jnana, brahma jnana. Vishaya jnana. Vachit kriya. At places, what? Jiva means what? Action. This action. Vachit etad ahankara. At places, the jiva is referred to as ahankar. Kvachit chittam iti smritam. At places, it is referred to as chittam, antakarna, or recollecting factor. Continue.
Kvachin maye kalpitam kvachintamiti protam karmiti samsmrutam.
Kvachit prakriti iti uktam. At places, this God, jiva is called as prakriti. Kvachit maya iti kalpitam. At least it is imagined to be Maya. Kvachit malamiti proktam. At least it's called mala, impurity is called. Kvachit karma iti samskritam. At least it is known as what? Karma. Continue.
क्वचित् बन्ध इति ख्यातं क्वचित् पुर्यष्टकं स्मृतं प्रोक्तं क्वचिदविद्येति क्वचिदिच्छेति सम्मतम्
Kvachit bandha iti khyatam. At least it is well known as what? Bondage. Kvachit puryashtakam smritam. At least it is called as puryashtak. Is what? The subtle body. Puryashtaka is subtle body. Kvachit avidya iti proktam. At least it is called as what? Avidya. Kvachit ichha iti sammatam. At least it is what? Sammatam, accepted as what? Desire. Means different facets are shown upon the same jiva. For example, you end all desires, jiva is no more there. No, because desire, kama, karma, karma, karma phala, janma, marana continues. Like that, different facets of the one and the same jiva. So, kvachit ichha iti sammatam. Continue.
इमं संसारमखिलम् आशापाशविधायकं दधदन्तः फलैर्हीनं वटधानावटं यथा
Asha vidhayakam imam akhilam samsaram yatha falaihi hinam vatadhana antaha dadhat. This jiva is vidhayaka, creator of asha pasha. Asha, desire itself is pasha. See, entire samsara jiva can be hooked on what? Mind. Entire mind can be hooked on desire. And the desire, there is no mind, there is no jiva at all. What remains is swarupa. But you have to go with the method given in the Shastra. It's not just like that. Inquiry, Shravana Mana, etc. required. So, Asha Pashvidayakam. Idam Akhilam Samsara. This entire samsara is what? Producer of these fetters of desires. Or you can, otherwise you can, the creator of this entire samsara is what? Asha Pasha. The fetter of desire, the chain of desire is the producer of entire samsara, because you end desires, there is no samsara at all. Means in desire, this entire samsara is what? Abiding. To this extent, illustration is given. Like Vatadhana. You've seen a seed of a banyan tree? Not seen. Okay. Have you ever eaten figs? Either dry or fresh. Inside seeds are there, no? Like that one. Banyan seed, banyan fruit seeds are somewhat like your anjeer. Figs means anjeer. Like that one. Of that size and that size. Now think of it. Consider a single seed of banyan. Potential huge banyan tree is there in it. Is it not? Yes. So like this Asha Pasha, like the banyan tree, comprises itself or is the potential of huge samsara vriksha, trees of samsara. Yatha falaihi hinam vadadhana iva. Like or just as a fruitless banyan seed which bears a banyan tree. Fruitless banyan seed is not even a fruit, just a seed. But it bears what? Huge banyan tree. So likewise, antahadadha, bearing within itself is this samsara. So this is what samsara is. From such samsara, one has to uplift oneself. Read 3 lines together.
चिन्तानलशिखादग्धम् कोपाजगरचर्वितं कामाब्धिकल्लोलरतं विस्मृतात्मपितामहं समुद्धरमनोब्रह्मन् मातङ्गमिव कर्दमात्.
Brahman, 3rd line. Then take first line complete. Chintanala shikhadagdham kopajagara charvitam. Then second line continues. Kamabdhi kallola ratam vismrutatma pitamaham. Manaha samudhara kardamat matangam iva. Kardamat matangam iva. O Brahman, Rubu is addressing whom? Nidaga. O Nidaga Brahmana, uplift this mind from this samsara, in the sense, check this mind projecting samsara, end this mind projecting samsara. What you do? This mana. What type of mana it is? Chintanala shikha dagdham. Dagdham, burned, consumed by shikha, flame of anala, fire. What type of fire? Chinta, endless worry and concern. He said, Balastavat Pidasaktaha, Tarunastavat Taruni Saktaha, Vruddhastavat Chinta Sakta or Magna, Parame Brahmani Kopina Sakta. And it is said, childhood goes in playing only. Youth is what? With the partner in life. Taruni, whether the husband or wife. Vruddhastava Chinta Sakta. Old age in the Chinta. But Parame Brahmani Kopina Sakta. No one is what? Attached to Parabrahma. Why I quoted it? Vruddhastava Chinta Sakta need not be confined there only. Whole life is Chinta Sakta. Is it not? Life is full of care, what concern and anxiety, tensions, etc. So therefore, we need not wait for old age. But old age, it is very intense. At least young, we can do something in terms of remedial measures. Old age, that also is not possible. Dependent on others. At their mercy. And they are busy their own way. This person was also busy in his own age, that age only. They are busy in their own things. They have no time to attend to this. They have no time even to inquire, how are you? So, Chinta Sakta. Chintanala Shikadagda. Then, Opa Ajagara Charitam. Ajagara, python. What is that python? Opa, anger. Charvitam, eaten by the python of anger, means victim of python. You know, seen python? They just swallows. Kamabdhi Kallola Ratam. Kallola Ratam. Attached to the Ratam is attached. Kallola, the waves of what? Kamabdhi, the ocean of lust or desire. Always engrossed in the waves of ocean of lust. The result what? Vismruta Atma Pitamaham has totally forgotten the grandfather in the form of Atma, Satchidananda Swarupa. Think of it. Engrossed in all these things and forgotten what? Swarupa. Atma Pitamaham. So such mind, who is of such nature, Om Nidaga, Samudhara, please uplift. An illustration given like Kardamat Matangam Iva. Like elephant who is sinking in the mire. Difficult to bring it out. Difficult to bring it out. In fact, I have seen one video clipping from Kerala. Two I see. One was the actual elephant that had fallen in a ditch. They have to bring all these cranes and this and that for days. One or 2 night days they have worked. And Other one was a cub. What is a huge one? It was going to drink the water. There was a pit there. And that pit, it fell, it was not able to. Now they had to lift. They brought the JCs and they started digging at it. But one thing, other elephants came to know that these people are helping. Otherwise, they would have attacked the people. They were all standing there, seeing what is happening. And it was at least in one case that they had to wait overnight. I've seen these people, they were, even for the waiting elephant, they were giving bananas. They were hungry. Of course, they could not give that much as what it can eat, but something they were giving to them, those also, elephants also. They themselves were hungry, they were eating something, they were giving bananas to the elephants also. Huge task it is, but you have to undertake it. So means why this it is not an easy job. That means pulling an elephant from the mire is not an easy job, because it cannot help itself unless exceptional cases. It is said Buddha was after the wandering monk. One time he came to a place where in a lake, an old elephant is what? Sinking. And it was an elephant belonging to a king. Very loyal elephant. But it has become old as such, so he retired. But somehow it got sunk there. And it was very loyal one. And the forefront in the war. So now it has become old. It is sinking. All people gathered, tried to this thing. The king also came. Felt very sad. Can't do anything at all. How they can remove it out? Buddha happened to come. That is what had happened. He could see that, but he said it is not an ordinary elephant. The royal elephant of this thing which has fought many battles. You know what Buddha said? Bring your all martial drums, etc. No, during the war, they know they beat the drums and all this, and then said, that is what? That beat them at the high pitch from all sides. Radum, doom, 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 like a war. It got, because that mentality was vasanas were there. It just mustered the courage and came out. That martial music enthused it. Because it was accustomed with that. And the war, etc., it was getting encouraged by that. It just enthused itself and came out. But it would have been a difficult, impossible for others to bring it out. So the Shastra gives a hint. Don't take lightly. Don't be complacent. The task is tough. So not to discourage, to highlight the necessity of added efforts, industrious efforts. It is possible, but lot of efforts are necessary. Read next 3 lines.
Evam jivashrita bhava.
Jivashito bhava.
एवं जीवाश्रिता भावा भवभावनया हिताः ब्रह्मणा कल्पिताकारा लक्षशोऽप्यथ कोटिशः संख्यातीता पुरा जाता जायन्तेऽद्यापि चापितः.
How many jivas are there? No computer will be able to do this. Of course, our science will give a figure. Who is to verify that? What means you have to verify? See, our shastras are not that. They will say asankhya, innumerable, infinite, or say ananta, endless. Not this foolish giving us the figure as such. Impossible. And they have got their own basis. Their own basis. But what is the verification? One person's way of thinking is okay, but that is not the truth as such. The way of thinking, interpreting. Evam, as described so far, bhava bhavanaya ahitaha chitaha bhavaha jivaha brahmana kalpitaha brahmana kalpitakara lakshashah api atha kotishah sankhyaatitaah pura jataah adyapi cha abhitaah jayante. Adyapi cha abhitaah jayante. See the count of jivas. Evam, as described so far, bhava bhavanaya ahitaah. Ahitaah comprising by bhava bhavana, by this bhavana, thoughts of bhava, means jivas totally engrossed in samsara, comprising bhava bhavanas, all thinking of samsara means totally engrossed in samsara. These, what are they? Chitaha bhavaha. Bhavaha, things or entities. From where? Chitaha, from Chaitanya. What are they? They are actually, namely, jiva. Jivas are described as the entities from Chaitanya, totally engrossed in the samsara saga. And how they came into existence? Jivaha Brahmana Kalpitakara, projected by Brahma in terms of Maya Shakti. How many they are? Lakshasa, in lakhs. No. Kotishaha, in crores. No. Atitaha Sankhya. Innumerable. You can't count them. Purajataha. We are born in the past. Adyapicha, even today. Abhitaha, Sarvataha, Jayanti, are being born. First thing, the Brahmandas themselves are what? Innumerable. And each Brahmanda, Jivas, you can't see. How many Brahmandas are there? No? So the Yoga at one place said, when a wave, big wave comes and lashes on the shore, at that moment, how many water spray particles emerge? So many numbers of Brahmandas are born every moment, get destroyed every moment. Human intellect doesn't work, can't work beyond our imagination. One Brahmanda we can't think of the magnitude of it. There's like innumerable Brahmandas. Every moment, innumerable Brahmandas are born, innumerable Brahmandas are what? Destroyed. Think of the Jivas in that. How many are born, come into existence and get ended also. So that is how Sankhya Atita. You can't count them. Innumerable, infinite. They Purajataha, past they were born. Adyapicha, even today. Abhitaha, Sarvataha, from all angles, all sides. Jayante, are being born. Are being born. Read next two lines.
उत्पत्स्यन्तेऽपि चैवान्ये कणौघा इव निर्झरात् केचित् प्रथमजन्मानः केचिज्जन्मशताधिकाः
अन्ये च एव अपि उत्पत्स्यन्ते निर्झरात् कणौघाः इव केचित् प्रथमजन्मानः केचित् जन्मशताधिकाः अन्ये still others cha eva api utpatsanti will be born in future. How illustration given? Nirjarat kanaughaha. Kanaughaha, the multitudes of water drops from a nirjara, from a waterfall. From a waterfall, how multitudes of water drops are coming out. Like that, say, others also are what? Going to be born. Among them, Kechit Prathama Janmana. Some are born for the first time. Means we have come into existence for the first time. Don't ask how for the first time. In Maya, anything can happen. Means they have got a first birth. Kechit Prathama Janmana. We have got the first birth. Kechit Janma Shatadhika. Others, some others have what? They have already taken about hundreds of births earlier. Means not new, they have already taken adhika. Like these varieties of jivas are there, we'll see.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः।